Happy Thanksgiving to you who celebrate it, and those who don't. Let's take a gander at a show where Tookie wouldn't be on the chopping block. Actually, they probably could, depending on the circumstance. Odd Taxi was a sleeper hit when it premiered, and was even nominated for Anime of the Year at the Anime Awards among figurative and literal titans. To me, I think it's just a good mystery. That's not disparaging it, it's quite a ride with elements of murder, mafia covers, and psychological dives into great characters. But as a reviewer who has to be fully honest with you, I wasn't 100% with the show the whole way through. Perhaps it's a personal thing, or maybe I think there are legit issues, but there is something amiss with it. I'll explain after I take you for a drive. Odokawa is a taxi driver. In his daily life, he meets various passengers who don't brighten up his day, but make it slightly more interesting. These include a wannabe influencer, an idol stan, his daughter's suspiciously nice nurse, and probably most notably, a schoolgirl who has gone missing following a ride in his cab. But she isn't just a simple student, she was also a member of an up-and-coming idol group and the daughter of a major entertainer. Now with eyes on him from the cops, the seedy management of her group, and the Yakuza who have ties with them, Odokawa has to navigate the best way out of the violence, extortion, and conspiracy that's ill-suited for someone like himself. Or is it? The first thing you'll notice about the show is its art style. It's a simplified look with the animal character designs in the forefront as the primary draw. But on top of that, there's the simple chalkiness seen in the background, giving both a storybook-esque look with a modern feel to the pop of the city. Already, I enjoy this juxtaposed design choice as it emphasizes the simplicity more without diluting the unique feel of the world. But in a really disturbing twist near the end of the series, there's an added layer of tragedy to why this world looks the way it does, and I'm a sucker for those stories that can change the meaning of its design by simply shifting perspectives. It's really cool. Among those perspectives, there are varying degrees of depressing, in the best possible ways, which I am now realizing sounds terrible out of context. It's not that depression has a lot of positives, it's that the situations and points of view in those depressing outlooks are good. Okay, let me explain. One of Odd Taxi's defining traits are the character stories interwoven around the central plot of Odokawa. These arcs are told with a precise nuance the characters have to grow into or observe, like a failing comedy duo debating to call it quits, or the growing obsession of a gacha gamer thinking fate's against him. While these stories are loosely tied to Odokawa's, they do serve as these little glimpses into the lives of the modern people and how they scrape by, while also serving as stark reminders of the larger plot, that being Odokawa's business and developments. Though not all of these stories are paced or told well, they do have a level of cleverness behind the writing as well as the right amounts of tension and gravitas given to them, like that wannabe influencer trying to be some kind of hero when he's really just clout chasing. It's not at all subtle, but it does finally reflect a developing drug in the age of social media, that being parasocial validation. It's similar to the tales of the small-scale idol group climbing their ways to the top by any means necessary, or the practice of catfishing on dating apps. They're pretty clear-cut, but the way they're told in the painful and even malicious perspectives they see, with the added weight of a mafia tale behind them, makes them slightly more notable than just what they are. The more I watch the show, I do find myself liking Odokawa a bit more, as the melancholy of his life sinks in after you discover the twist with him. On the flip side, I can't really say the same with the rest of the cast, with a few exceptions. They aren't bad, but they just don't add much more than their respective roles as the show goes on. But to be fair, they do fill those roles nicely, and they all play a significant part to the climax and plateauing of the story, which is nice as it feels right to have these guys come together to finalize the show's conclusion. Which, by the way, is pretty fucking weird. And I really like the chaotic zaniness that comes of it. And I want to take a look at the overall mystery last because it's probably both the best and worst part of the anime. In the search for the missing girl, there are bits and pieces to the reactions of the cab riders and the general public that gives you parts of the story already, and it's the mystery behind Odokawa's life that give a bit more vague insight. This is well crafted, and as you move along putting pieces of the puzzle together, the nefarious nature of the crime in question and those involved become more unhinged and paranoid. This too is excellently put, and coats the air of mystique with a hint of malice seen in places you sometimes can't perceive. However, in doing this, the storyboarding can be a bit jumbled at times, cramming certain details and observations in places you may overlook or have to go back on. I found myself being confused by the sequencing numerous times, sometimes per episode, my first watch through, which was on the seasonal schedule. While most mysteries tend to do this fine, the addition of those aforementioned character stories woven in just jumbles the overall detailing and solving of the story. While the stories are nice and even support the mystery at times, that's still a lot of unconnected development and atmosphere that's not cohesively integrated. It's like if you read Murder on the Orient Express, but in addition to learning the motives and alibis of the suspects, you also read about their pets' names and what they had for breakfast 3 Fridays ago. They're nice details and world-building elements, but they don't add much to the point of the mystery. Odd Taxi's a great show, but not by the sum of its parts. It has moments of grandeur and softness, and they're done wonderfully on their own. Put together, they add only a mess of details and unimportant information to a larger picture. I like Odokawa and its tragedy. I like the individual tales that come from and center around Odokawa. I even like the overarching mystery, but they're ingredients to a disastrous final result. Well, that might be an exaggeration. It's more of a mixed concoction of tonally off flavors of a final result. But honestly, you shouldn't let that stop you because it is solid. I can't say you'll 100% love it, but it is worth it for this art style and the characterizing stories. They are all kinds of fun and depressing. In the good way. Wait, shit. Anywho, have a wonderful Thanksgiving everyone. And regardless if you pay the fare or not, it's one drive that, despite its bumps, will have you experiencing a heck of a ride along.